Welcome back to New York Living. When it comes to aches and pains and injuries, there is no shortage of advice out there. But Chris Jenner trusted the advice of our next guest with her orthopedic care. Now he's here to help us separate fact from fiction when it comes to our own bones, joints, and mobility.
From just walk it off to no pain, no gain, today we're busting some of the biggest myths about bones, joints, and staying mobile with the help of orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jason Snibbe. Welcome. Thank you. Awesome to have you here because we all have a lot of questions. So explain to us what an orthopedist is and why would people need one?
So we treat joint problems, tendon problems, ligament problems. And the myth is that it's all surgery. It's not all surgery. The majority of what we do is non-surgical, treating sprains and strains, weekend warriors, little injuries here and there. We treat a lot of non-surgical treatments, but it's mostly joints, muscles, tendons.
Yeah. Interesting. So let's bust a few myths here. I think as people age, we notice things, they hurt a little more, our body's getting a little cranky, and we start to think, okay, all exercise, all movement, I can't do that because it hurts. So true or false, does all form of exercise make an orthopedic condition worse?
I think that's false. We love exercise. Exercise is great for the movement of your joints, which makes the cartilage much healthier and more strong. It makes your muscles stronger all around the joints, and it makes you move, and the movement of your body makes everything feel better. Your spine, all the ligaments in your body, makes your whole body feel better.
Yeah, if not, you become stiff if you don't move that muscle, right?
Absolutely. Movement is the key. The more you move, the better. Into your 80s, the people that move more live longer and live a much healthier life.
That's what I keep telling my parents, and they keep going to the gym.
Good.
True or false, you can get two hips replaced at the same time.
That is true.
Okay.
So if you're the right type of patient, you're healthy, you got a good heart and lungs, you're a healthy person, you can have both your hips replaced. The beauty of that is that hip replacement is one of the easier recoveries of all the joint replacements we do. And when you have both of them done at the same time, it's one anesthesia, one recovery, and you're done. And so most patients in about 3 to 4 months are back in action. They're able to ski and play golf and exercise. And so for the right patient, it's life-changing. For some patients that may be a little sicker, a little other comorbidities, they can't have them both done at the same time. But for the right patient, amazing operation.
Interesting. You know what? I would not have thought that. I would have gone with false, but it's great to know. And what you say about like one surgery, one anesthesia, totally makes sense. Okay. True or false? Long-term rest when injured is the best approach to treating an injury.
So that is false. In the old days, they used to say, oh, rest, lie in bed all day. But guess what? When you lie in bed all day, you lose muscle mass, the joint gets stiff. So we're all about early motion. The minute you have an injury, it's start moving the joint, start getting the joint moving, working on the range of motion. And then as the motion is preserved, then you go to strengthening. So it's all about, so for example, you sprain your ankle, they used to say lie in bed for 2 weeks. We don't do that anymore. We allow them to weight bear immediately to get the muscles activated so you have less atrophy, less muscle loss.
Atrophy is not good, let me tell you.
Good.
I think I know the answer to the next question, but true or false, high heels can damage your feet in the long run?
That is true. So high heels are very hard on your feet, on your toes, but listen, vanity, right? We all want to look good and but I always tell people, like, bring an extra pair of flats with you in your purse, when you're out and about at a party.
That's what
at an
I do
event.
now.
Yeah, exactly. So you just wear it when you need to wear it, and you go out and keep it limited. But it is hard on your feet. Also, you have a much higher increase of ankle sprains because you can step wrong and sprain your ankle.
These heels you see right here, as soon as it's 11 a.m., these come off.
They're gone.
Oh, good.
This is why I don't wear heels. I mean, it's just safety first. It's just safety first. Okay, so the last myth, and then I've got another question for you. But the last myth is true or false, or is it both? Wearing slippers is the best thing for your feet and your body.
So that is both. It's true and false. Slippers are great when you're relaxing around the house and you're just kind of moving around, maybe cooking breakfast for the family. But when you're really doing a lot of work, when you're starting to do chores at the house or doing stuff outside, you need to wear a supportive shoe because a slipper you can slip, you can, especially on wood floors, you can also twist your ankle, and it's not supportive for doing more rigorous work. So it's good to have kind of more robust slippers that have maybe a rubber sole to it so you don't slip, and then kind of the relaxing slipper is good to have just to mope around the house.
So let me take advantage of having a world-class orthopedist here and ask you a question. If I came into your office, what is generally the #1 piece of advice that you give people if they want to move pain-free? If they want to, they're like, well, I'm getting older, I have a little pain in my knees, or I got a pain in my shoulder. What is the #1 sort of daily maintenance thing you tell people to be doing?
So the #1 thing is weight training, resistance training. That is the most important thing. As we talked about, you lose muscle mass. As all of us age, every single year that goes by, you lose a little bit more of your muscle mass. So the more you maintain your muscle mass and keep your body strong, the better life you'll live. You'll feel better, you have less back pain, knee pain, hip pain. So muscle mass is the key. The other thing that's really important is also inflammation. Keeping your inflammation down. So in your diet and what you consume, keeping a low inflammation diet. Not eliminating completely, but lowering your carb intake, lowering your sugar intake, processed foods, keeping inflammation down makes your body feel better and also makes you grow more muscle if you have proper protein intake.
So interesting. It's interesting because, you're an orthopedist, but we're also talking nutrition. And it is so interesting to hear a doctor remind us all that it's holistic, right? It's not just one thing.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and we're now focusing on nutrition around surgery. We're focusing on how do we make patients eat and consume things that make them recover better, even from surgery and non-surgical issues. Someone sprains their ankle, how do we give them nutrition to make them heal better? So nutrition is becoming a huge part of what we do as orthopedic surgeons.
That's so awesome.
Fantastic. That's great. Doctor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. By the way, for more great orthopedic advice, you can follow the doctor on Instagram at Dr. Jason Snibbe.